Hey guys, welcome back to the Dynasty253 podcast where your fantasy football trash talk finally gets a place so you guys can have some fun. I'm Chris, aka the Curse Commish, joined by Rob, aka Air Jordan. And this week we are interviewing Chapin, aka Shaven Tigers.
Shaven Tigers.
That's a new one. Previously
Chapin,
Huddle of
Shaven
Mud.
Tigers. I think that's what it is, right? Is that what it is?
It's what?
Chapin Dykers, Shaven Tigers? That's
Exactly. You say it out loud. So it came from a, at work we have a transcription service. So if I get a voicemail, I get an email that transcribes what it says. And the beauty of having a kind of a weird name is that those transcription services can't figure out how to say it. So it thought my name was Shaven Dykers or Shaven Tigers. Before that, it thought it was the last one was Shape and Diapers. So I figured Shaven Tigers is a better team name than Shape and Diapers. Yeah.
I mean, don't get too ahead of yourself. It's an early season, right? There's a lot of year left to go.
That's true.
I thought it was just for the new shave do. Yeah.
I changed it in solidarity with my. I'm leaning into it.
Nice. Well, welcome back, guys. We took last week off, so Rob was on a work trip / vacation up here at the PNW. How'd you enjoy your time up here?
It was good. It's like 30 degrees colder over there. So I think we've had, until this week, we were 100 plus for a month. So go over there and it's like 54 in the morning. I'm like, thank God. I think the other night it was 85 at midnight.
Oh, wow. All right. So something for me to look forward to in a few weeks.
Yeah, well, summer's bad. I'm just, full transparency, it's rough.
Well, I'm glad you had fun up here. We got to watch the Hall of Fame game, watch the Chargers pull one out, which was nice.
That was actually a really fun preseason game.
Yeah.
Trey
Lance looked good.
Trey Lance looked incredible. And I noticed you picked up Trey Lance right after that.
Didn't take long.
For the second time in this league.
I said for the second time you've got him, right? Because there was a trade between us, too.
Yeah, and I dropped him and then picked him back up.
I mean,
you never
incredible.
Just can't leave him.
Yep. And you got to meet Chapin finally for the first time.
Yep. In person, he bought us lunch.
Yep. Again, thank you for that lunch, Chapin. That was good.
You're welcome. Delicious.
So, it was. So let's jump right into this, Chapin. Tell everybody about yourself, man. Where you work, where you're from, family.
Well, work at Progressive Insurance, a claims supervisor. So I lead a team of claims handlers. So if you get in an accident and you're involved with a Progressive driver, you're probably talking to somebody on my team. Been there, about 9 years or so. So quite a while. Got a wife, 2 kids, both 3 years old and younger. So I got my hands full. And a dog. So full house, very noisy, chaotic, but awesome.
And you're originally from the 253 area code?
Yeah, never lived anywhere else but Washington. So my roots are deep here for sure.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm trying to think back, like when I met Chapin, it was in the Sports Authority days when you were in Auburn.
It was. And I was trying to remember that too, and I saw you were going to ask that. Were you?
I think I was when you guys were doing the remodel. I came up there to help out for management.
Because you were at a different store. You were at like Tacoma, right?
Yeah, I was in Tacoma and Olympia as well.
Yep.
So that's been a while.
Yep. I was not a supervisor at that time. You were, so you had to keep me in line.
Yep. And then thankfully I left Progressive because that was our second stop of working together.
Just following each other around.
I say, when I'm
going to be a mailman next, yeah.
I was going to say.
Keeps you in shape, buddy.
Chapin will be bringing your Amazon packages.
I'm complaining about your toys in the driveway, Rob.
Yeah, right. Don't want to fit at me.
That's great.
Keep your toys clean, your dog's quiet. All right. Calm down, Amazon.
So how long you been playing fantasy football?
I think it was probably like 17 years or so, probably around that. But started out with just a home league that Derek created, fellow competitor in this league, Derek. He created that league, and it was just kind of a fun one, and it's been going ever since.
Nice.
Then did a couple other small leagues around, and then did a keeper league with you, Chris, for a little bit, and then now we're on to the Dynasty. Also done fantasy baseball quite a bit too, so multi-sport fantasy player. Luckily, this is perfect timing for this too, because fantasy baseball I pretty much completely eliminated right now. So as of like yesterday, so it's time to talk about football. No more baseball.
I've never played
done with that
fantasy
stupid
baseball,
sport.
and it looks like you'd have to be significantly more invested and
Yeah.
involved, right? Because there's
It
so
is,
much more going on.
It's a daily thing. You wake up, you check your lineup, move things around. A lot of work, but it makes like Dynasty and this like feel kind of easy.
Right, not a Sunday morning. Whoops.
Yeah, right.
A
Yeah,
text from Chris that says your lineup has people missing from it at 5 a.m.
Yes. Yeah. Yep.
Yep. And I know Tommy plays in that baseball league with you, right?
Yeah. Tommy and Derek are both in that league.
Yeah. Because I think Tommy, we were talking about suggestions of the league, what he'd like to see happen and all. He's like, why don't we try doing an auction? I'm like, I don't know about that one. Or salary caps.
Yeah, that baseball league we're in it's a keeper league. You keep 10 players. You can keep them for 4 years, and it's a salary cap auction draft. You keep the player at the salary that you draft them at or trade for them at, and it is a lot to juggle.
Oh, I can imagine.
It sounds
I wouldn't
painful.
recommend it.
But if someone has a terrible team and very young talent,
Right.
it's the worst. Chris, take that. You two would hate it, if I'm being completely honest.
Yeah, that would not be fun. That would not be fun. So yeah, so we played in James's league, which we won't get into great big detail, but for people that don't know, Chapin basically blew up that league.
Ruined it.
Yeah, he destroyed that league. It was an interesting time.
Sorry, y'all.
That kind of boiled over into our league, but we got some new people out of it, so we can't complain too much.
I was going to say, Crackheads is pretty excited that James walked away.
That's what I'm saying.
Which, ironically, James was 2 years from a championship, so...
Yep.
Whoops.
It happens.
It's a Dynasty league. You got to think way ahead, right?
Yeah,
That's
I
not
tell
just...
him every time I trade away all my good players, I'm like, no, this is about the future. Don't worry, I got draft picks for days because the future's set up.
Oh, yeah, it definitely is. So when it comes to the Dynasty League for our rookie drafts and all that, do you do a lot of research? Or do you read articles? Do you do podcasts? What do you do for your research?
So yeah, my year is very split up. So there's a big chunk of it that's strictly baseball research because that league is so intense. But after that is done, it's all fantasy football research. I do listen to a lot of podcasts in the background. My lunch breaks, I'm fortunate enough to work from home, and my lunch breaks, I like to go out in the hot tub and just throw on a podcast for an hour, and then I come back and work for the rest of the day. So kind of play in the background and try to just absorb it as much as I can. I'm trying to get a good variety too of podcasts to listen to. Look at a lot of articles, and I'm a big, like, the way my brain works is I like to look at data and spreadsheets and whatnot. So all the visual stuff helps out quite a bit too.
Yeah, I definitely like spreadsheets. I don't know why, but I do. It helps.
Yeah. There's also a big chunk of
simplifies
time.
everything, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It summarizes it all up.
Yep.
It's kind of like my thing. I'm like, who are the top 10 tight ends coming out of college football? And then I just draft only tight ends.
Yeah, well, you made one big draft blunder in our very first startup draft.
What was
How's
that?
Justin Jefferson working out for you after I gifted him to you?
Did you draft ahead of me? Did you?
Yeah, so I made that big trade. I was like 10th, I think. And I made a big trade to move up to 2, thinking that James would take either Jefferson or Jonathan Taylor. And I was going to grab Jamar Chase. And then, as fate would have it, he grabbed Jamar Chase. And I'm like,
Railed.
for whatever reason, I lost my brain. And I was like, I was going wide receiver, but now Jonathan Taylor's there. And then somehow I thought Jonathan Taylor was younger than Justin Jefferson. So Jay Jetta to you, you know, I
He's
did
been all right.
blow that when we started off, and I think I've tried to give you like multiple first rounders to
Yeah.
acquire him back.
You sent me quite. I remember. I think it was last year. Right? Last year, year before. You sent me quite the trade offer for him, and I was like, "Ooh."
It was huge.
Real tempting. It was huge. I'm like, man, I don't know.
How many firsts were involved in that trade offer?
Two or
Several.
three?
I think it was. Yeah.
It was the
It
future.
was enough to make
I was,
me.
here's the fall.
Yeah, I was. It made me think for sure.
I mean, I gave up 3 for Ashton Genty, so
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you for that too.
yeah, you're welcome.
On that note, that first year, right? So Justin Jefferson carries you to a championship your first
Yep.
year. So best finish we know. What's the worst finish you've had since then? Have you repeated?
The worst finish. Well, define worst, because so we had the. I did finish last one year, but it was the year before we made a rule change. So I kind of purposefully tanked quite a bit to get
I
the
remember
first
we were
pick.
having a tank off. Yeah.
Yes, we
Yes.
were.
I got messages from both of you about that.
It felt really dirty. Actually, I really like the way the rule change we made to get rid of that is good. I know you don't
Definitely
like it,
changed how
Rob,
you have
but
to tank. Well, it's how
Yeah.
it's you know how you have to tank, right? I talked about in the first
Yeah.
episode.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
you have to be willing to drop players off to try not to gain extra points.
Right. Yeah, I think that's a better way to do it, in my personal opinion. But so it felt really dirty that year, and I finished last, but I did it on purpose. So, like, I think technically maybe the year after that is the one that I would think personally that was the worst, because I had in my mind that I'd be a playoff team, and I wasn't. So my goal going into this league was, I think I had the 3rd overall pick in the normal draft, and then I had the 3rd to last rookie pick. So my strategy going in was going to be ignore the fact that it's a dynasty league. I was just going to draft like I normally draft in a redraft league, and just try to win in the first 2 years, and then rebuild. I don't want to do a short rebuild. My idea was to do a short rebuild, only miss the playoffs like a year or two, and hopefully become a contender in 4 to 5 years after the first year. But got the first championship, which was awesome. But I had a lot of aged players that I then had to get rid of and kind of get a little younger. So
You definitely have a young team now.
yeah, by design.
Yeah. One of the sites, Rob's going to talk about my unofficial sponsorship for Dynasty Calc. Or
Okay.
Fantasy Calc. Sorry, Fantasy Calc. It's a
Fantasy
website.
Calc.
Fantasy Calc, not Dynasty Calc. It's
They're not gonna-
basically a Dynasty
253
league.
brought to you by Fantasy.
Yes.
Uh,
But if you look up Fantasy Calc, you can type in, put in sleeper and put in your team name, and it pulls up everything. So it shows an adjusted age on there, and the adjusted age for everybody on your team is 24.9 years old.
all right.
So you went pretty young. Your 2nd overall youngest team.
Okay.
Rob can't believe that I'm still the youngest.
Doesn't add up,
Really? That doesn't add up.
right? That's what I said. I was like, how can you have one of the strongest teams and
Because all my
have
guys are young, man.
so bonkers?
Well, you got to remember, you got Malik Neighbors is 21, Brock Bowers is 21, Genty's 21. They're all
Yeah,
young.
you've got a lot of youngins.
They just happen to be good youngins. Maybe. We'll see.
If Genty falls apart, it just makes my life that much more like,
Yeah,
Less
we'll
complicated.
see.
you know.
So how long you been a Seahawks fan? Are you a diehard 12er?
My whole life. I know you guys aren't whatsoever, so I wore my brightest,
why
most
that is,
obnoxious
Chapin.
jersey.
I can only think of quite a few reasons.
Uncalled for, both of you. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, so I just grew up. I mean, like, my whole family's a sports family. It's very much a local teams only kind of family. I have a huge family too, so I grew up going to my grandma's house every Sunday, and I have 40 some cousins or whatever, 50 maybe. I got my mom was one of 8 kids. They all had a bunch of kids, so like it was packed, and like my entire family all lives in Washington, so it's like just a big concentrated group of sports fans. So
That's pretty cool, though.
yeah, Seahawks, the big Seahawks fan, and all the other sports too. Mariners, super angry the Sonics are not around. I went to college at UW, so Husky fan. But I also have cousins that went to Wazoo, so I'm kind of a weird Husky fan that doesn't really mind Wazoo either. Like, I mean, if they're playing each other, I'll root for the Huskies clearly, but
Okay.
That's not normal.
it's not normal, no. But when you have such a big family, it's hard to root against your cousin. So,
Right.
Those are the best people to root against.
right? Yes, maybe.
The
Yeah.
best
Dude,
people.
my cousin's a Seahawks fan, so
Oh no.
I mean, if we go back and look at the memories that come up on Facebook from like the runs of years between the Packers and the Seahawks, it got pretty aggressive for a while.
Long periods of not talking to one another.
Oh, the problem was we were talking to one another.
Too much.
If we had not been talking, it might have been more peaceful.
Yeah. Most of my cousins are Chicago fans, so
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Are they from there?
yeah, they're all from there. My grandmother's from there, so she was a Bears fan through and through.
Oh,
I
all these.
think the first jersey I ever had was a Walter Payton jersey.
That's different,
Oh, okay.
though.
Yeah, legend. You can't be
Yeah,
mad at legends.
Walter Payton.
Yeah. So I notice on your roster you don't have a lot of Seahawks. So obviously, being a homer doesn't really affect your drafting very much.
No, usually I've found over my years of being in fantasy football leagues is usually, like, since I'm in Washington, all the people that are in the league are usually in Washington. I don't get the chance to draft a lot of Seahawks, so like they just go way too early. So I don't want to reach for somebody. Typically, I'll end up with no Seahawks on my team, but I do like to have like one or two just to see like what the score is of the game. Like if I'm looking at, if I'm away like shopping or it's like, a birthday party, I can actually do a quick.
Who's winning? Let me look at my roster. That's
So I had like
all the
Geno
Packers
Smith
wide receivers.
last year, but now I'm like, oh, I got AJ Barner. So I do still have a Seahawk deep down there in the taxi squad that I can look at the scores for.
Now I know what the score is.
Right, yeah.
So with your roster, I know you said you were looking about doing kind of a win now and then rebuild in a year or two and kind of make it last. So when you draft, are you looking for like the best player available? Or are you trying to build up a certain position?
So I guess it kind of depends on how my team is looking for the year. I tell myself going into it that I'm going to draft the best player available, and then it doesn't happen. Like for whatever reason, my body takes over and it drafts somebody I shouldn't have drafted. I feel like. I've reached for like this or last year. I reached for Jonathan Brooks in the first round. I needed I needed running back pretty bad, so did that. Awful mistake. Chris ended up with maybe the best tight end in football right now as a result of it, and it's like, man, that's
Thank you.
brutal. And I'm sitting here on my league, and I'm looking at like my weakest position is tight end, probably.
No, Noah Gray's going to do well.
No, great, better do good.
I remember I was so mad when you took Brooks too.
Yeah, like it just, man,
Was
I don't know.
so mad.
Yeah, it's still, and it's early. I mean, he's still young, and I'm sure he'll play at some point. But that was a giant mistake for sure.
That was a big draft for you, right? You had 3 first
I had a lot
rounders?
of 3 first-round picks. I got Marvin Harrison Jr. with the first one, which I'm not super angry about. I think he'll be really good. And I got how was it? Or no, that was Marvin Harrison.
Caleb.
Caleb, that's
Williams.
another one.
Yep.
So
Yep.
and that was a draft that I did a lot of needs instead of best player. Like, do I think Caleb Williams deserved to be drafted there? Probably not. But I didn't have a really good quarterback. I had Justin Fields, which he's a pretty good fantasy quarterback, but he's like, who knows if he's going to keep the job at any given point. It's terrifying. So
Getting replaced by an old man randomly.
Yeah.
When
Who
you've
knows?
done nothing wrong.
right, anything could happen with him.
Exactly.
So what do you think your strongest strongest and weakest positions are? I know you said you think tight end's your weakest.
Yeah. I don't know if quarterback's all that strong either yet. We'll see how Caleb does. Try not to buy into the training camp stuff too much. I always fall into that trap too, or I'll see like a tweet that says, "Oh, he's thrown 3 interceptions in a row," and it's like, like it gets in your brain a little bit, but you got to remind yourself this is just training camp. They just started practicing. So we'll see.
Yeah, just keep telling yourself Bears quarterbacks have traditionally been great.
I keep getting stuck with Bears players. I was terrified. I really wanted. I don't know if we're gonna get into this later, but I really wanted Trevion Henderson in this draft. That was a big target of mine, and they kept thinking, oh, the Bears are probably going to draft him. Like, no, please don't. I don't want another Bear. Just any other team, literally any other team.
Yeah, I know. I remember there was talk about them trying to trade up for Genty too, and it was like, no.
Yeah, just
That would have been an interesting move.
yeah. I am thrilled about their coach hire, though. I think that's going to help a lot of my players. Pretty sure.
Yeah.
Ben Johnson.
Yep. We're like, 2 days away from the first preseason games actually starting.
It's not
That's
the
crazy.
Hall of Fame, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're about here. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. What is, and this isn't on the show sheet, but just kind of want to throw it out there. When it comes to trades, we all know I'm a trade addict. Like, I'm a fiend when it comes to trades. What is your like trade philosophy? Like, do you try to quote unquote win the trade? Or are you trying to make it fair and equal? What are you trying to do there?
I am not afraid to try to make it as fair as possible for both teams. I think those are the best kind of trades. You don't want to if you stomp somebody in a trade, like you might feel good. Personally, I feel good like temporarily, and it's like, man, I kind of feel guilty now. So no, I think a solid. I think the best trades they benefit both teams for sure, in whatever way that like each manager wants to handle their team. If you're rebuilding and you want picks, awesome. If you want proven players, awesome. Just got to read the person you're trying to trade with.
Yeah. And Rob and I have these conversations all the time that we think the trading in our league is broken.
That or we're just obsessed with it. I don't know. We said 64 trades in the whole league. You have 31 or 34 of them?
I think 34 of them.
Now,
Chapin
a
has
lot of them are
12.
between us. Okay, so Chapin's trading too.
Yep. Chapin
I
has
have
12.
traded with Chapin.
Yep. I think we've had a few good trades.
Jordan Love back after I dropped him like a doofus.
Yep.
Yep. Chapin and I have not traded. Chapin's the one guy I refused to trade with.
We did do a trade, Chris.
Yep. We had Cole Kmet.
Yes, which I was debating on whether that was one of my worst trades.
It actually worked out. You gave me a second round pick.
It was the 13th pick, though. It was the first second round pick. If it was a mid-second, I'd be like, okay, but he hasn't really done anything yet, and now he's got competition. So I'm like, man.
Yeah.
We'll see.
It wasn't one of the big ones. I still think the best trade you ever made, and it's got one that going back to 2023 that had Rob and I talking, was you traded Jamal Williams and a second round pick for a first and a second.
Yeah.
What?
Jamal Williams, the great Jamal Williams.
I remember that one.
Yeah.
He was coming off that year with New Orleans.
The timing was perfect on it, and it just worked out.
Yeah, that was what?
He's a
just
locker room guy.
Happened.
You brought in the locker room guy to pump the squad up.
Exactly.
Yeah, that was my most successful trade. Absolutely. There's not a close second.
No, there is not. Not even remotely close.
Oh my goodness.
So
what would you say is your worst trade?
I can't really I don't think I made a lot of terrible trades so far in this league. I was trying to find an easy way to look at all the trades that I had made.
So
not going to believe this, but you can go to Fantasy Calc.
no,
Oh.
actually
No.
no. Go to League Legacy.
The other website.
Yep, the other
League
website.
Legacy. Okay.
League Legacy. I had sent a link, and I think I put it in the Facebook on the Facebook page. The link to
See
it.
if I can find that real quick.
To go through the trades.
So according to this, your worst trade that they rank it is you traded a 24 fourth round pick for Isaiah Spiller.
Isaiah, that's the one I was gonna say. It's such a low level trade, but he did absolutely nothing. Like I think he got cut right after that. Basically, I was desperate for running backs, and I was trying to do it in a cheap way. So I saw some reports that he looked like he had some life to him. Gave it a shot, and it didn't work out. But I also have never drafted. I don't think I've ever drafted a successful player between the 3rd and 5th rounds of this league. Not once. I think like all the good players that I've ever drafted are 1st or 2nd rounders.
Yeah, those generally be the ones that hit the most.
Yeah.
I think you got AJ Barner late, and he could be good this year.
I don't know if did I draft him or did I've had some good free agents. I picked up a couple of good free agents, but
That's where
did you draft? You drafted Olave, but that was 1st round, wasn't it?
That was the first year of our league. That was my 1st round pick. Then Josh Downs, pretty good 2nd round pick I got. That was like one of the later ones that I've had success with. And then a lot of free agents like Devon Achane.
Yeah. Didn't you wager? I think you bid like $65.
I bid a really nice
something like that.
amount in $69. $69.
That's what it was.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I put in 5.
Yeah, I did. I wasn't even close on that one.
Nope.
I spent all my
kinda
money on Joe
regret it.
Flacco. So
He was a 1st round pick. He got dropped. So I was like, well, I mean, am I going to use the rest of my bidding money throughout the year? Like maybe not. Worth a shot.
Yeah, that's the downfall of Dynasty. I think is it kind of kills a waiver wire for the most part because everybody's rostered.
Right. All the excitement is like training camp time. Like that's when all the free agents get picked up. And
Yep, from the draft till training camp.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, what do you think of the league so far? Are you happy with the way things are going? Do you want to see some things change?
I don't think. Yeah, I actually really like the way it's set up. I think it makes you think in different ways and makes you feel like an actual manager of a team. So I don't really have any gripes with it. I think everything that the biggest change I wanted was that the tanking one after I did it, and it felt weird. So
Rule change because of me.
But yeah, nothing beyond that. I think everything like set up how I'd like it to be.
Yeah.
Sure.
So there isn't a league rule that you'd change if you could.
Nope. Some might say get rid of the kickers, but absolutely not. I think fantasy football kickers are extremely important for fantasy football.
3 points for 25. Yeah.
I think it adds a good, fun kind of wild card to it. So
Yeah.
more depth.
I figured you'd bring up the trade veto.
There you go. Yeah,
Chris
I am
wants
against
everyone to come in and be like, the veto needs to go.
I'm publicly against the
does.
trade veto too. If we can ever vote on that again, I would vote get rid of it.
I think the veto's kept everyone in line, though. We haven't had anything that caused the veto to happen since then.
You did this to us, Chris. If you
Yeah,
remember
Chris.
this.
No. I lost that trade. I don't care what anybody says. I lost that trade last year. And it broke me.
I know. I had
worth it?
McCaffrey in redraft. It was.
Yeah, it
tough
broke
year.
me.
Well, it's kind of like Chapin was saying, right? Like you feel like a real manager when players get hurt, like it's a thing. Or Jonathan Taylor for the longest time with his holdout, and then coming back and not playing well, then getting hurt. I was like, I feel very connected to this, and I'm unbelievably angry at this man because I'm like, I've got you for 5 to 6 more years, man. And like, so when Chris came and offered, was like, "Hey, can I get Jonathan Taylor off you?" I was like, "You know what? I'm at it with this guy. Like, you can get him out of here."
Take him off my hands.
It's just it's funny because there's so much drama with certain players, and you are really, really tied to that. The Rashee Rice situation, right? So if I was in a redraft, what do I care? Don't draft Rashee Rice, right? But I'm watching the news and like Rashee Rice like ran somebody off the road and was speeding and he's gonna get suspended. And I'm like, crap.
Yeah.
This is a huge deal.
That's what I felt with this year with Quinshon Judkins too. I drafted him.
Yeah, he didn't wait long, did he?
No, he doesn't even have a contract yet.
Nope, he hasn't been signed yet.
And it's like, man, and I kind of want it's hard to have players on your team that you don't like, seems like a jerk. Like I have to root for him now because he's on my team unless I get rid of him. I don't want to trade him because it'd be like the value is so low. It's like he's just stuck there. Hopefully,
that's why I don't draft
hopefully he
Bears
just
players.
get some counseling or something, and can turn it around. I think Adrian Peterson turned himself around allegedly, so maybe he can too.
What was it? A couple months ago, he got in a brawl at a poker game or something that was caught on video.
Wasn't that AJ Brown?
No, it was Peterson.
Oh, well.
Oh, that was Adrian Peterson.
Yep.
That's right.
Yep.
I just assume everything out of retired players is AJ Brown. Might have gone a little far off the deep end.
So who's going to win the league this year? Not including yourself.
I think if I were a betting man, it'd probably be you, Chris. I think your team is pretty loaded from top to bottom. I think if everyone stays healthy, I think you'll have a good shot. But I am hoping for some injuries for you.
I know I have his first rounder next year, so I need him to do
Oh,
horrible.
there you go.
You can just
Everybody's
crash
always
and
rooting
burn.
against me. I'm the underdog.
It's the life
You
of the
might as
commissioner.
well fall apart at the beginning, Chris. I don't know why you always wait till the end.
That's true. That's true.
That's the most heartbreaking way to lose. Just be bad from the get-go, and you're fine.
Especially when teams actively work against you to make sure you don't have a quarterback.
Yep.
Who did that? Was it you?
Remember when I gave like $70 to get Joe Flacco?
Yes. Yeah.
Because Chris wouldn't trade me for. We called him Jake Plummer Planter last time.
Yeah, it was
Kid out of Washington.
Jake Browning.
Jake Browning. He wouldn't trade me
yeah.
for Jake Browning. And I was like, fine. Watch what I do.
You weren't the only one, too. I think Michael actually jumped in on that one as well.
What? No way.
Yeah, shocking. A little collusion between cousins. I don't know.
I've never met
I
that
don't
guy. I don't even know that
I
dude.
don't know. All right, I see how it is. So, not last week, I guess it was 2 weeks ago now, you caught stray from our interview with Jimmy, being that you're his biggest rival. Who's your biggest rival in the league?
I mean, I think it would have to be Jimmy.
Let's go.
I've known him for 33 years probably, something like that. But brother from another mother, and he just constantly talks trash. And I'm not a big trash talker because I think the universe tends to work against me if I trash talk. If I try to trash talk, my team's in a tank. So usually I don't like to, but he'll just let me have it all the time. And does the same thing in our other league too. He just dropped off the championship because he wants me to update it with his name on it, which he did bring up when he was on. This is what it looks like if anyone wants to see it. The Delicious Bass Award. But yeah, we got to put his name up here again. He now has the same number of trophies that I do. For 15 years I've been the trophy leader in that league, and now he's tied me. So
Jimmy
lucky
kind of,
me.
yeah, he was big on like Chapin's the guy too. So one thing we didn't ask Jimmy, and maybe we should have. You got two choices. You got a championship in the next 5 years, guaranteed, or the only game you win for the next 5 years is against.
Well, I've already done that. So I successfully beat him in the loser bowl game on my the year that I finished dead last and got the first pick. It was me versus him, and I beat him to make him get that license plate frame around his truck. So
And he rocks that.
the
license plate for
championship,
him.
the championship year, the year that I made him get that pink license plate cover, balanced, equal.
Balanced.
All right. Yeah, one thing I've thought about doing for the league, and it's something we can discuss at a later date too, is making a rivalry week. So everybody calls out their rival in 1 week in the season. That's all it is rivals playing against each other.
But then
That would
everyone
be fun.
calls me out because they just want a free win.
No, but we'd have to match up rivals. So obviously,
I'll trade
Jimmy and
somebody for their second round pick. I'll let them be my rival.
Yeah, if Jimmy and
That
Chapin
sounds
are
fair.
rivals, but then, Chapin and Tommy or Chapin and Derek are rivals, or Chapin and I, or whatever. And you just kind of trade it like 1 year you play this person, next year you play this person. Kind of do it that way.
Yeah, you can
And it's
edit the
all,
schedule, right?
yep. And it's always set for the same week every year. So you look forward to that week.
Unless your team's on bye.
Hmm.
Don't worry, I won't set you for week 1 and week 12.
I want my game and Jimmy's game to be towards the tail end of the year when I can effectively end his playoff chances. Please.
That's
14.
what we should do.
Week 14,
Last
rivalry
game of the
week.
season
Yep.
should be rivalry. That way, all the buys are over, and you can knock somebody out of the playoffs.
Or do it when the NFL has a bye-mageddon when there's 6 teams on bye.
There you go.
Yeah.
Test that bench.
Yep. And I will lose that one every time. My bench is trash.
I can safely say that my bench is as strong as my starters. So
I like my bench quite a bit. I think I like the depth on my team. That's one thing I have enjoyed about my team recently. So I think I got some good depth at most positions. I can afford a few injuries.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Which means I may have to come knocking at some point in the season because I know I'm going to get injured players.
They might be there for you, Chris.
Yep. So do you have any league punishment ideas? So what have we gotten so far? We've gotten the headlamp puzzle in the closet. Jimmy just said no food whatsoever. Or at least not fries.
not starvation, but definitely not putting down a whole lot of food.
Yeah. I like I'm not a big fan of like embarrassing punishments, like going out in public and doing things, but the ones like the finishing a puzzle in a closet, that kind of stuff, I think is perfect. I thought the food eating one, like the fry one, was fine too. I think that was good, but Jimmy complained too hard.
Apparently, it's painful.
Change it to the IHOP challenge.
The IHOP challenge sounds brutal.
It does, though. When you think about it, like 24 hours, but then I just got to eat like 24 waffles, so I'll be fine.
Yeah, then you look at what 24 waffles looks like, and it's like, oh my.
Them Waffle House, they're not slim waffles.
Nope.
I mean, we could do, Rob and I are talking about doing the beer mile.
Oh yeah, beer mile would be incredible.
What is this? I'm intrigued.
So you know standard like running tracks a quarter mile around.
Yeah.
So you slam a beer, run a lap, slam a beer, run a lap, slam a beer, run a lap, slam a beer, run a lap.
4 beers, 4 laps.
4 beers, 1 mile. Yep.
And you got to do it under a certain time.
Yeah, we can account for age. I think that's fair.
I think that's good. That's just good for health. You know,
That's
that's
solid.
just
I mean,
helping us all.
You can start off like, what, 12, 15-minute mile?
I'd go 15. That's fine.
Yeah.
15-minute mile. If you don't do it, you got to do it again the next weekend or something.
That'd be incredible.
Got to be filmed.
Can you run with the beer in your hand, or
Nope.
you gotta?
No, you gotta
You got to
finish it
slam
before
it
you go.
first and then run.
It doesn't have
Got
to
it,
be a
okay.
shotgun, but it has to be like obvious you're drinking it.
Got it, okay.
And that time counts towards that 15 minutes.
Got it, okay. Can it be a Keystone, or does it have to be, like
It could definitely be a light beer.
a Guinness?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it doesn't have to be a Guinness.
Barley wines only.
Yeah.
Just kill somebody. That would be an opening in the league if we did a barley wine beer mile.
There you go.
A Bavarian IPA at like 15%.
Yeah, if we need to clear
Let's see
a
you
spot.
quietly get somebody to leave the league.
Never
This is
mind.
required.
Yeah. I think another thing, and Rob and I have talked about it, and I put it out there for the league, and it's something that I think we'll discuss at a different podcast, is possible expansion. Jump it up to 14 or 16 teams, because I know we have a waiting list of people that want to get into the league. I don't want people to leave, but inevitably you're going to have people that, just life gets too busy and they fall out. It happens. But I like the idea of a 14 team league.
Yeah, I wouldn't be against that.
You know,
I think
it's
it'd be
free up
fun
the
to.
redraft.
I think it'd be fun to, as long as it's set up in a good way, then for sure, yeah. And you get the right people in the league. You want active people, so.
Yep, for sure. Well, yeah, I've run out of pretty much all my questions. Rob, you got anything?
Yeah, so the one I like to talk about every time, and I think, fantasy, it does a lot more to us emotionally than it should. And some of the ones that stick with us are like the biggest losses, right? So I think back to like the only kick under 30 yards Justin Tucker's ever missed cost me a three-peat. And I will never let that go, right? So thinking back on all the years, ends up being this league, but like what's the biggest one that sticks with you?
The biggest loss will probably be the championship game in my other league with this delicious bass trophy this last season, because I was in the championship with Jimmy. I could, if I would have just won, he wouldn't have the same number of trophies as me, and I would have 4 and he'd have 2, and I'd be 2 ahead of him. But I started Caleb Williams instead of Patrick Mahomes, and that one mistake cost me this trophy against my self-proclaimed biggest rival. Brutal.
Don't trust Bears quarterbacks, man.
I don't know why
Just
I
a
did
fun
it.
stat. Name the Bears quarterback that's thrown for over 4,000 yards in a single season.
There probably isn't one, is there?
There isn't one. It's the only
Yep.
team.
There is 0.
And they've been
Yeah.
around since 1919. Like, they were the Decatur Staleys in 1919. I think they're the first team.
The Green Bay fan is really. I need all the ammunition against the
Yeah.
Bears. Give
we
me all the
haven't been winning
knowledge.
championships in a while. It's getting hard.
We're not going to talk about teams not winning championships.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Yep. Yeah, we're not going to talk about that.
One day,
Still a Hall of
Chris.
Famer.
One day.
One day. One day. Well, next up on the Dynasty253 podcast, our next interview is actually going to be this coming Sunday morning with James, the new guy in the league.
Nice.
It'd be interesting to get called a virgin opinion, but basically coming in and not even playing, just like, how are we doing? What do you think?
Yeah.
Hasn't
And you get a
experienced it yet.
lot of questions about how his roster is constructed and what he thinks.
Yeah, I feel like the inheriting rosters is kind of.
That'd be
At least
tough.
you get the out, right? I don't have to keep looking at
That's
Chapin
right.
having Justin Jefferson and being like, that was mine. At least you can inherit it. Like, it's not my fault.
Yeah.
Well, that's something that, like I said, when I talked about expanding the league at 14, 16 teams, what I was considering, again, not going to go too in depth in it here, but be for another time, is giving people that have questionable rosters or not a fan of their rosters, giving them the opportunity to throw back all their players and redraft with the player pool, with the new person coming in. So gives people that roll of the dice again one more time to see if they can build their roster better. But that includes all their players, all their picks, everything. So they're starting basically a brand new startup draft for those teams that want to do it.
Hopefully,
a
they don't
cool
have
thing-
outstanding trade picks.
Yeah.
We'll figure out how to handle that.
Yeah, we'll have to figure it out.
Cool thing with Dynasty though is like, even if your team is really bad, like you can have a lot of fun with it. You can rebuilding a team, even if it's not one that you built yourself, is fun.
Oh, yeah. Like,
Gives you
being
a-
a contender is always great, but I'm kind of looking forward to blowing up my team and trying to build from scratch.
All right,
I
it's
did
a new
that, Jake.
challenge.
Just
You
come
think
right
I have
in.
a lot of trades now, Rob? Just wait.
Rob, how's your rebuild
Just
going?
wait.
Are you happy with the rebuild?
Honestly, yeah. So this year I dropped, like, I need a running back, right? I've been chasing running backs since the beginning. I'm semi-happy with where they are. But, so I gave Chris the number 1 to go back to 5. And then, because you took Judkins, Tet fell to me. And, I mean, there's this light comes on. I'm like, what do I even do? How is this happening? I think generally overall, I need more out of Jordan Love. I think Matthew Golden will make that happen. And then Savion Williams on top of that. I mean, eventually I'm sure they'll trade some of their depth away. But he's got a potential to get pretty big. And then I think with Rashee Rice, once he escapes the suspension, and then Devontae Smith is young. Tet's obviously very young, right? So there's been a whole bunch of stuff. I've got a couple tight ends I'm really happy about. Fannin being one of my favorites. And then Arroyo is also, I think, going to kill it for Seattle this year, honestly. So I think in general, the rebuild's good. There's definitely more stuff that has to be done. And I think next year is when we start pushing. So I've got 3 1s next year.
There you go. But it's fun though,
Yeah.
right? Like
It is fun.
you didn't win a lot of games, but had a lot of fun. It's the beauty of Dynasty.
I used to win. I used to finish 7th. Solid.
You have been on the worst losing streak in both our leagues.
No, I won like 2 games. No, I think I won 5 or 6 games last year in the other one. But yeah, it was bad. Everyone's like texting me like, "Are you okay?" And I'm just like, I don't even know what's happening. I started without a first rounder, right? Because I didn't have McCaffrey all year.
I literally sent him a text message like, "Hey, you watching the games?" He's like, "No, I'm going hunting." Nope, not
I
even
hunted
watching
a
the
lot
games.
last season. Yeah, I missed most because like I don't even care.
I'm sitting in a blind. Leave me alone.
I pulled a straight up Marshawn Lynch. Like I'm only setting my lineup so I don't get fined.
Absolutely. So yeah, we'll definitely get you on sometime in season. Join us again for a podcast. Figure out a topic that you want to discuss and do that down. And a few things, Rob.
Hope they'll be contending by that time. We'll see.
No,
Then we get you in after you beat Jimmy.
Yes, we'll have you on if you beat Jimmy. How's that?
Get us both on. Throw hands.
Yes.
Rob and I'll just sit back and watch. I mean, I know, yeah. You've caught a few strays here and there in the first 2 episodes.
All in fun, though. All in fun.
Absolutely.
Maybe.
I mean,
That's what I'm thinking, anyways.
I can't speak for Rob or Jimmy, but you know, they're the ones that threw shade at you. I just said you're not going to win for a while. Rob said never.
I
Chapin
know.
had a really good
that?
chance to get a big rebuild. I'm a little jaded. It's not your fault you took Justin Jefferson. I'm just a little jaded about it. And then I tried to offer you all them picks, and you were like, "Nah, man, kick rocks." And I was like, "Whatever, he's done anyway. He ain't got no picks. You can't rebuild." And then you got 3 like the next year. I'm like, "No one's playing into my strategy."
Yeah, it happens. Well, again, Chapin, thanks for taking an hour out of your night to join us midweek. Definitely appreciate it. Rob, thanks for joining and co-hosting again. I know it's getting late back there.
Yeah, it's about bedtime.
Yep. Yeah, you guys have nice long commutes in the morning.
All the way up the stairs, man.
Yep,
I gotta go
absolutely.
downstairs. We got opposite.
Yep.
Which one's got the traffic jam in the morning?
I got a dog on the stairs sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh, and Connor
be a
lives
problem.
up there because we're sharing the office in his room. So to push him out.
Yeah. How's he feel about Uncle Chris coming and kick him out of his room for a week?
He's content.
Okay. All right. At least he knows.
He's aware.
Okay. Nice. All right. Again, guys, thanks for joining this week's podcast, the Dynasty253 podcast, I should say. Again,
Brought
thank
to
you
you
guys
by
for
Fantasy Calc.
yes, and League Legacy.
And
Get
League
that
Legacy.
sponsorship.
And League Legacy. You get that money rolling in. But yeah, we're looking forward to getting the rest of you guys on. Chapin, again, thanks for joining us. And I will get this out on YouTube shortly. All right, you guys, thank you much. And have a good night.
Bye-bye.